Test cricket rendering Headingley Stadium unavailable. The Rhinos have taken this Ladbrokes Challenge Cup quarter-final to their new home for one night only. Featherstone is the venue and one that the Centurions know well and enjoy. Now, the sides have been submitted here at Featherstone, and the Leeds Rhinos show no changes to the back line that went down 33-20 against the Catalan Dragons in Super League just a week ago. But there are some changes in the pack. There are welcome returns for Matt Parcell and Carl Ablett, who missed the last two matches. And another man who have missed the last two, Anthony Mullally, returns on the bench alongside Ash Golding, Cameron Smith and Josh Walters for coach Brian McDermott. Well, Leeds Centurions' last outing was a reverse at the Summer Bash at the hands of the Toronto Wolfpack. They have made one change to the back line. Rhys Evans comes in replacement of Jack Owens. And there are promotions from the bench for Jamie Acton and Liam Hood to the starting lineup, alongside Nathan Mason, Bodine Thompson, Harrison Hansen and Jordan Thompson. And on the bench, Kevin Laroyer is brought in alongside Greg Richards, Mickey Hyam and Jordan Baldwinson, who goes up against his former club for coach Kieran Purtle. And first voice, the man who took us through that first of the quarterfinals last night at the John Smith Stadium, is back here again, Bill Arthur.
The ground staff have been working on this pitch just to green it up a little bit. It looks very good indeed. Beautiful, balmy summer's evening. It's going to be hot work for these two sides, and it could get a little bit hot as well for referee Chris Kendall, as Brian McDermott's up in one of the coaching boxes. That looks cosy as well. And last cup tie we saw here was Featherstone against Hull FC. That was fairly fraught and feisty and fiery. This could be two. Brian McDermott, as Brian said, just putting down a marker for the match officials as the game gets underway, and Leeds Centurions first touch of the ball. Ben Reynolds and Jamie Acton will run it back, and Leigh will fancy their chances against a stuttering Leeds Rhinos side who lost last time out in Perpignan, their third consecutive Super League defeat, their fifth in 6 Super League games. They did win against the Widnes Vikings in the Cup, which took them through to this tie. So Leeds, Terry, are vulnerable.
Well, Leeds Centurions will be looking at the Leeds side, missing 8 senior players in that squad, and they're a good side, the Leeds Centurions. They do know how to play. Last week in the Blackpool Bash, they were beaten right on the buzzer. They missed the conversion. They could have got the draw, but Drew Hutchinson, the man who just kicked the ball, and Ben Reynolds could be very influential in this game. Perfect conditions, fast pitch. I think we're in for a belter-bill.
Well, let's hope so. After last night's dour contest between Huddersfield and the Catalan Dragons, Catalan, the first side through to the semi-finals of the Ladbrokes Challenge Cup. Who will join them next? Leeds or Leigh? Here's Matt Parcell, and Leeds glad to have their regular hooker back for his 50th Leeds appearance. An important returnee for Brian McDermott's side. There he is, Parcell.
Knock on that bell, they play the ball. Miklaj Aledzki earning a sterling reputation the bigger his run in the first team. Of course, spent some time on dual reg at the Featherstone Rovers. Unfortunately, that's a basic fundamental mistake from the big front rower.
You know, you look at this Leeds Centurions side, they've got absolutely nothing to lose in this game. All the pressure's on the Centurions, who were expected to win by most pundits and most neutrals, but you can't write off this Leeds side. This man who's got the ball now, he is some special talent. Been heavily linked with Saints in Super League. Quality player that needs watching.
Peter Matautia, that is. Yeah, 1 or 2 sitting up, taking notice of the Centurions' Samoan fullback. And Leigh with ball in hand. Bodine Thompson plays it 40 metres out or so. And here is Drew Hutchinson. Hutchinson gets the pass away. And Rhys Evans it is, in on the wing for the Centurions tonight. 4 tackles gone in the middle of the field with Jamie Acton. That's the 5th tackle. And Drew Hutchison goes down the short side and the ball's batted down. Referee says 6 to go, and he'll bring him back as the pass is handed to Tom Briscoe. Briscoe will bring him back.
First mistake coming from Leeds Rhinos, and Richie Myler, well, he gets his hand in the way. Otherwise, that ball from Matauti could have gone to Craig Hall. Been in decent form this year, Craig Hall, along with Ben Crooks.
So head and feed to the Leigh Centurions on that Leeds 10-metre line. Great opportunity then for Leigh early on in this game. And here is Ben Reynolds. Here is Peter Matautia. He tackled close to that Leeds line. Short pass. Held up, or are they? Mason, I think, has got that ball down. He has. Well, what a soft try to concede for the Leeds Rhinos. Kieran Purtill probably can't believe that, but he's delighted. And Nathan Mason, his 5th try of the season, breaks the deadlock early on.
Well, what a try, and what a start for the Centurions. Leeds Rhinos defending their own line. You see this a lot in Super League. Defenders will bat that ball down. They figure that's the worst of two evils, or the better of two evils. And look at this, Nathan Mason, who got the first try in last week's game as well. Short, 1 metre, but they all count.
Well, he's picked out a couple of youngsters in Ledsky and Jordan Lilly. He's a big, powerful man, Nathan Mason. When he gets this ball, he's very strong. You can see him spinning out the tackle, gets the ball down well. There was a lot of defensive shape set up, hoping that Leigh were going to ship the ball out.
And Leigh scoring with their first real sortie into Leeds Rhinos territory. And Ben Reynolds, 70 goals to his name already this season, will surely add another one to his tally with this conversion. Reynolds on targets. What a start for the championship side.
Well, they needed a big start as well.
And stop Nathan Mason from getting it down. Good start from the Centurions.
So Jack Walker restarts. Reynolds again reclaims. Acton again charges it in. And this time there's a bit more vigour from the Rhinos in the challenge. And they will get the ball back, I think.
Knock on by Leeds.
Good tackle there from Leeds. Acton lost possession. It's Leigh's head and feed.
Well, they get away with it, and you can't panic when you've been driven back. You've got to make sure that you pick a man out. You're better at beating that man, getting to the ground. And Jamie Acton, a lot of panic, knowing he was being dominated in defence, tries to get a miracle offload away here. You can see Oledsky, who was the man who was in that tackle that conceded that first try, wanted to make amends, was putting Jamie Acton back towards his sticks, and a lot of panic in there from the Leigh ranks.
Well, Leigh, head and feet, and not afraid to give the ball some air. Ben Crooks, the Challenge Cup finalist in 2013 with Hull FC, with that run. Here is Jordan Thompson. And Liam Hood, once of the Leeds club, with the darting run. Cuthbertson gets a hold of him just on the halfway line. But Leigh looking very confident early on here. Reynolds, here's Drew Hutchinson, here is Harrison Hansen. Mountains of experience in all aspects of the game in Harrison Hansen. International Challenge Cup, the Super League. What a player to have in your side as Hutchison hoists that kick. Walker calmly underneath it.
What an excellent take. He didn't have too much traffic around him, but he looked solid as a rock under that ball, young Jack Walker. They've got Ashton Golding on the bench as well, so plenty of options in that back line, but they're under the pump here a little bit. 7 minutes on the clock. They've hardly touched the ball, the Rhinos.
Here is Ryan Hall. Tackled by Crooks. Parcell had to put the brakes on there before he collided with a teammate. A bit of miscommunication in Leeds ranks there. The ball's quickly spun out to Kinehorst. Kinehorst steps back inside, but the tackle made by Drew Hutchison and Hansen. The ball with Jordan Lilly. Lilly hoists this one. Peter Matautia is underneath that. He's going to let it bounce. Maybe not such a good move Parcell is under. Oh, Parcell's underneath it. He's then upended by Matautia, and Parcell is still on the ground. There's a huddle of players above him. That was reckless from Matautia, and there could be a follow-up to that. The fullback could be in trouble here.
There's a lot of frustration in this tackle because he knew that he'd made the mistake. Look at this now. Manhandles Parcell, slams him into the floor.
I think you've got it right. It's reckless, that, and it's a player that's venting that frustration on Matt Parcell, who has hold of the ball.
Taking advice from his officials.
In my view, it's a dangerous lift. He landed on his head, slashed top of
early on here. We've had Leigh already scoring.
Entitled to a send-off, in my view.
There could be a man down. Chris Kendall's gone to his pocket. He's gone for good. That is an
Well, I'll shake my head because
I want to speak to you. Calm down.
it is certainly worthy of being asked to lead the field.
You're
thinking 10 minutes.
Yeah, yellow, I'd agree with that.
You have to play by it.
Well, you can see there's a lot of frustration in this tackle. Look at this now. Lifts him up, throws him down.
could have gone.
His side are going to suffer now. They're going to be.
It gets worse the more you see it.
70 minutes with 12 players.
Peter Matautia, this fullback who was recruited from Newcastle Knights and looks to be a great acquisition for the Centurions, but he's put them under pressure here now. So long to go in this game, and already they're going to pay the price because Tom Briscoe is going to get a try for Leeds on the ground where his brother Luke has scored so many tries this season. Another Briscoe gets over the line, and Leeds Centurions pay the price already for Peter Matautia's moment of madness.
And you can see that Leeds Centurions are man down. There's an overchase here. Drew Hutchinson goes across, and Tom Briscoe, the clever player that he is, steps off his left and scores an easy try.
Reece Evans is faced with an impossible task. He has players outside him. Plenty of controversy with only 11 minutes.
I can't have envisaged seeing a player sent off this early in this contest as Jordan Lilly attempts to add the conversion, misses with that. So Leeds still ahead, 6 points to 4. Last time we were here, there was plenty of controversy in the cup.
Slammed him into the ground, has a red card. They lead by 2 points. They don't automatically have to lose this match now that they've gone out to 12 men. They can try and use this in that incident to galvanise them. They still have a semi-final spot on offer here, and it's not unheard of to win a game with a numerical disadvantage.
It's going to be a big test, though, of the Centurions' character and of their fitness. Jamie Acton down on the ground. He's got a knock as the big front rower.
Time off tackle 3.
No Ryan Bailey, which is why Acton is starting this game tonight. He's in a lot of pain.
Drew Hutchinson there, he's the man who hurts his teammate, Jamie Acton. When he comes over the top, lands on top of him, crushes him. You see straight away he pulls away from it. Kieran Patel and Kieran Cunningham will be hoping that they don't lose any more players with injuries. It looks like he's okay.
Okay, go.
Looking a little bit sore after that. Well, here's Carl Ablett. Leeds
Wait. Go for.
hitting back immediately after Matautia's sending off.
5. Move, Bodine. Go 5.
The ground really still trying to come to terms with that.
Kick it clear.
High ball. Craig Hall underneath it.
He caught that on the full, didn't he? No mistake from Craig Hall. Lots of experience in that player as well. Tez mentioned Ben Crooks, 12 tries. Craig Hall, 14 tries. Not a strike. Reece Evans, of course, experience with Warrington Wolves. They can score tries, and last night's game dominated by defence, let's put it that way. I don't think we'll have the same type of game tonight. Both sides can play, they can throw the ball around, and I suspect we'll see a lot of points tonight.
And Acton has lost that ball in the tackle. Leeds get it back, free play as Ferris gets it away to Ryan Hall.
To win the game, they can't make mistakes so close to the line. It's a good shot as well, straight under the ball.
Surrender!
Cuthbertson, he's stopped in his tracks by a trio of Leigh players. Now here's Ablett. Mullally on his shoulder, but he gives it to Myler. On to Kinehorse. Kinehorse, good defence needed to be from Drew Hutchison. And to Jimmy Kinehorst.
Drew, you
He'll
come
lose it. I
round
think
the
he's
ball.
wearing a kilt now.
I think it's Jordan Thompson as well. What you can't do when the attackers are going at the defensive line, you can't bite in, put pressure on your outside defenders, and Jordan Thompson really hurt his outside men then.
Mullally. Kinehorst has just tucked the rest of his shorts into whatever he's wearing underneath, and he's getting on with it. No sign of replacements coming out for the Rhino centre at the moment.
Jason Davidson, the conditioner, he's on the job.
In again. Going close, Parcell.
He's in the ruck. He's
And
in the
the
ruck.
referee has awarded the
Not
penalty.
release the leg. Not release the leg. Time off.
Penalty to Leeds.
Yeah, and you're still on the leg.
Well, when he gets through the line, you can see Ben Reynolds just trying to hold on a bit longer, knowing that the defensive line, you can see the red and white Leeds shirt still scattering, still trying to get in to place, and Ben Reynolds, who's going to be key if League One to win this game, gives that penalty away.
One. Move, Nathan!
Mullally
Jamie, go
tackled on
line.
the 10-metre line for Leeds. Here is Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson onto Lilly. And again, Briscoe, and Briscoe steps back inside. Hutchison can't stop him. And Tom Briscoe gets his second of the game.
Well, that had its origins in Jamie Acton dropping the ball, coming off his own line, and hands back possession and position to the Leeds Rhinos. And yet again, they go left to right, take advantage of the extra number. We know they've got the players that can pass it. They will find the right player and the right pass. But I'll go back to Leigh being the architects of their own downfall for the first try and again for that second try.
Two highly skillful forwards involved in that play. Adam Cuthbertson right at the beginning. Stevie Ward at a crucial part of it, and that's another finish, another first-class finish.
His first attempt, which was wide of the target. He's made one appearance for Leigh this season as Jordan Lilly on a brief loan deal with the club, played against Halifax back in March, kicked 3 goals for the Centurions that day. Can he find the target for Leeds today? This one looks more promising. He's got his radar locked onto those posts now, and Leeds in front by 10 points to 6.
The Leeds Rhinos capitalising on that through that man, and I'm sure he's going to see an awful lot of ball as this game goes on.
It's a big ask this is for the Leigh Centurions. Okay, as you've said
Surrender!
among yourselves, 12 men can do it, but in these conditions, it is very warm, it's very draining in terms of energy.
Absolutely,
Massive effort needed.
There is a trap that Leeds Rhinos could fall into, thinking that because they've got the extra number, they can play a little bit more, they can force that ball. We haven't mentioned the obvious, the left to right slope that Featherstone Rovers has naturally at this ground, so it's important that you make the most of that advantage. The Rhinos in this first half will be playing downhill and hoping to draw a little bit of energy out of the Centurions.
Hanley now for Leeds as they come again. But that's the 5th tackle. They're on the Centurions 40-metre line. Lilly hoists that kick. Craig Hall comes for it. Can't get to it, does so at the second attempt. First knock on, says the referee, and it'll be the turnover.
But interesting. He's thinking that he didn't touch this ball here, and it goes up. Craig Hall caught in 2 minds. Yeah,
Okay, let's go.
Well, he doesn't touch it. I think maybe Stevie Ward stood in the way.
Surrender! 1.
I think he came off Stevie Ward's shins.
Go on. 2.
Richie Myler's shins. But anyway,
Go 2.
Leigh get it back. And here's Rhys Evans.
Well, technically, they're going to be looking at how do we compete with this Leeds Rhinos side. We've got 13 men on the field. Well, they've got to make sure that they do take the chances. They control the speed of which Leeds Rhinos play the ball, respect the ball as well. And every time they can have a crack at the line, let's have a crack at the line.
Bodine Thompson plays the ball. Here is Reynolds. Here is Acton. This time he makes sure he holds on to that ball as Mullally and Cuthbertson confront him. Liam Hood. Reynolds will drill the kick down the sideline. Ryan Hall just nonchalantly watches it go into touch, hardly bats an eyelid.
And that could be a way of Leigh Centurions easing themselves back into this game. Carl Ablett looks like his evening is done. Just returning from injury, of course, Carl Ablett. That was That's not a good sign.
It would be a loss of Leeds. You two won't want to hear this, but I'll put a case for the Leigh Centurions. Wingers becoming very important in this game. As you're down a man, you need to make sure that the forwards who are going to have to do longer minutes on the field have less work to do. You want Reece Evans and Matty Dawson-Jones to come in and almost break a record for dummy half runs in this game here. Take the workload off the forwards and conserve their energy for the extra defence they're going to have to do as they're man down.
Jack Walker skins the Leigh Centurions cover and goes in under the posts. And I think if they'd had a full complement on the pitch, then Leigh Centurions would have found it hard to stop the mercurial 18-year-old Leeds fullback, Jack Walker, as he goes in for his first Challenge Cup try of the season, his first try of the season, full stop.
He's all class, this kid. The more you watch him, the more excited you become. He can break tackles, he's got speed. At this point here, he's got a number of situations going through his mind. He has to make the right decision. He steps off that fairly trusty, steady left foot of his. It's a wonderful offload from the skipper, Stevie Ward. And as I said, pure class, this young man.
Well, he's excellent, isn't he? And when he looks up, Leigh Centurions not having a fullback changing, and they're having a crack with the likes of Brent Crooks and Craig Hall at the back. Matty Dawson, Jones there just couldn't stop the youngster. But I agree with you, Barry. Every time you see this lad play, it's astounding how good he is really for his young tender age.
Grand final winner at the age of 18 years and 60 days last year. Some year he had that cup hat-trick at Doncaster. He's on the scoreboard tonight as Leeds move into a 16 points to 6 lead.
55-metre try for Leeds.
Craig Hall resumes for the Leigh Centurions, paying the price for the dismissal early on of Peter Matautia, their fullback, who is such a key player, as we've seen already, the times we've seen Leigh this season, big influence on them, and he's not around, and that has really altered the complexion of this game.
Well, that brain explosion has certainly cost his teammates. Look, they're losing all the energy battles, the momentum's with the Leeds Rhinos now. Look at him playing on the front foot. Nice tip on.
It's Walker again. Walker has got some support. He's got all sorts of support, and Hadley just manages to hold on to it. He goes in for another try, courtesy of Jack Walker, but it's Ash Hanley who finishes off. And these Leeds supporters jubilant as their side cuts loose here in Featherstone against the Centurions. His first Challenge Cup try of the season.
Well, Ash Hanley spent some time on this ground, dual reg for Featherstone, and just look at the numbers in support. Very difficult to stop. And when you've got the likes of Adam Cuthbertson playing on the front foot, the big man, you don't know what he's going to do. Nice little tip on the inside. Liam Hood's beaten for pace. And just look, yet again, from that man, Jack Walker, pulls up that ball and just passes it at the correct time.
Jordan Lilly with this conversion attempt. He's on target again, and Leeds ahead by 22 points to 6. Ash Hanley with his 10th try of this Super League season. And back-to-back tries for the Rhinos centres. Let's go down to the sidelines. We saw Carl Ablett hobbling off the field, the only cloud on the Rhinos' horizon at the moment. Ball from Angela.
Yeah, all good on the scoreboard, but not good for Carl Ablett. He's been out, as you know, for 2 weeks with an ankle injury. Well, this looks like a calf injury, and the bad news is for him, he won't make the rest of this game. They're keeping an eye on him to see whether it's a long-term injury or not.
There's Carl Ablett. And the only Leeds player looking glum at the moment. Everybody else have plenty to feel happy about, because they would have approached this game knowing that Leigh posed a real threat, and it's just evaporated.
Well, the complexion of the game changes obviously with that red card, and here they come again, Bill.
Myler, he's got players outside him. Kindhorst is one of them. He's gonna have to hobble to the try line, is Jimmy Kindhorst.
Hamstring.
He gets over there, but a hamstring has gone by the look of things for the Leeds Rhinos centre, Jimmy Kindhorst. No.
No Carl Ablett, and it looks like as they again go left to right with their shift and find a man in space. Mullally proving a real handful out on that edge. Ash Golding backing up. Myler makes the right decision, gives the ball to Kinehorst, and it seems to be just a stretching movement just as he goes to collect the ball.
They're just not getting it right on the left-hand side, are they? All the defenders, look, trying to bite in, solve problems. You can't do that when you're a man down. You've got to work from the ruck out. Good offload. Ash Golding, who's just onto the field, gives the ball to Richie Mile, looks straight away, knows he's got support. The pass to Kinehorst, pulls at the hamstring 10 metres from the line, but still manages to get across.
We're missing our hamstring expert, Eddie Hemmings.
And Jordan Lilly, he's on target with this one. So Leeds ahead by 28 points to 6, but 2 players down.
You'd like to think, Bill, that this may work out in Lee's favour. Ultimately, Brian McDermott's options on the interchange bench are greatly reduced. No Carl Ablett, no Jimmy Kinehorst. Well, the scoreboard is rapidly going away from the visitors to this ground here tonight. They need to do something to get a foothold in this game.
Lads, I'm going to throw a third one in here for any Leeds Rhinos fans sat at home. Just may not want to hear this, but when Ash Golding come onto the field, Matt Parcell went down the tunnel as well. So whether there's a problem with Matt Parcell, that could be the only chance that this Leeds Centurions would have.
Josh Walters is on the field. He's played a number of games for Featherstone this season, and Handley will break now. Ash Handley, he's looking for some support. Ash Golding is the player in support. I thought he was limping for a moment. He's not. He's got to the try line. Well, Leeds might be limping in certain respects, but they are sprinting away with this one. And Ashton Golding is their latest try scorer. His second of the season.
Well, that's virtually from the kick-off of the Leeds Centurions. And Kieran can tell he knows that this job is getting harder all the time. They can't control the speed of their play of the ball. They can't make the tackles. And I might be wrong here, gentlemen, but I think Adam Cuthbertson has been involved in every try at some point. This is a good decision. 2 defenders flooding forward, and that's a good finish by the substitute, Ashton Golding.
You look at the way that Leigh defended it, they've got 4 on 4. Ben Reynolds didn't need to bite in, then he bit in, he wedged in. You can't do that. You've got to make sure that you work as a unit, and this last 10 minutes hasn't been good enough for this Leeds Centurion side. They are a team that like to score points. They are a solid side that can defend as well.
6th try for Leeds in 16 minutes since Peter Matautia was sent off. Jordan Lilly, first straightforward conversion attempt he's had. He's on target with that one. 34-6 already. We haven't even reached the half-hour mark.
Well, here's the injury group, I should say, for the Leeds Rhinos. Some big names there: Brett Delaney, Joel Moon, Jamie Jones, Callum Watkins, of course, the captain, Brad Singleton, Mitch Garbutt. The list goes on. A couple more additions to that now for Brian McDermott to ponder. But Terry's absolutely right to point that out. It hasn't been, it looks very good, Leeds Rhinos attack, but it's been made to look better by poor Leigh defence. 2 players not clamping up Anthony Mullally for Jimmy Kinehorst's try, and Ash Golding's try as a result of a bizarre decision by Ben Reynolds.
Well, Ash Handley, thinking that was going out on the full, misjudged it. And something goes right for Leigh.
Well, they've been knocking up some big scores, Leeds Centurion. You can see the ball coming off Handley, his left leg. And they need to come up with something special here. They've regularly knocked up 40 points in the Championship, but they're up against Super League opposition. They're up against the big boys here. And the way that Leeds Rhinos are playing now, they've got the bit between the teeth, and Leeds Centurions have got to do it tough now with just 12 men on the field.
Here is Ben Crooks.
Move, Richie! Hold.
20 metres out. Drew Hutchison has his hand raised. Here is Harrison Hansen. Leeds defending for a change. Mullally and Walters with the tackle. Liam Hood now. Hood. Here is Jordan Baldwinson, another former Leeds player. Made a couple of substitute appearances. Hutchison is over. Or is he? Well, he is, but is it going to be confirmed by referee Chris Kendall? He reckons it's a try, but Ben Faber, the video ref, will have a look at it.
Yeah, please.
I don't think there's anything wrong here with Drew Hutchison. That was either a wicked dummy or he threw it up in the air and then he caught it himself. Was he caught in 2 minds? And just have a little look here. when he goes at the line, Hutchinson, holding the ball in two hands, he's got a push up and close support from Harrison Hansen, and you can see that, I think it's Cameron Smith, switches off, opens it up, and there's nothing wrong with this play. Just exactly what they need here.
And Drew Hutchison comes up with a response for the Leeds Centurions. His second cup try of the season, his 8th all told of the season. Ben Reynolds with the conversion attempt, not hanging around. And Reynolds improves that, 34-12. Drew Hutchison, recruited from St George Illawarra with this try.
Well, that was one of the best dummies I've ever seen. That if he's played for that, he's come up with an absolute blinder. I think it's a bit of a mistake really from Hutchinson though, but he has been consistent all year for the club, and it certainly gives the Leeds Centurions fans some hope in this fixture.
So Leigh give themselves a lift. Leeds do have their problems despite leading 34 points to 12. More from Angela.
Yeah, the confirmation of the news that it was a hamstring that he pulled up with Jimmy Kynehorst, and he won't play any further part in this game, adding to Brian McDermott's injury worries. And Matt Parcell, by the way, is in the changing room. He's about 7-8 minutes left of a concussion test. Let you know how that goes.
Jimmy Kynehorst out of action. Leigh get the penalty.
In all the emotion around that red card from Atautia, we forgot that there was a real bang on the head from Matt Parcell. He's gone in, probably as a legacy from that head tackle or that head slam.
Kevin Leroyer comes off the bench. The French international, there he is, playing the ball. Like a knock-on from Mickey Hyam. That was the claim from the Leeds supporters, but play continues. Hutchison onto Jordan Baldwinson. And Leroyer again. Here is Drew Hutchison. Ben Crooks. Myler with the tackle. Stevie Ward there as well. Hutchison once more. He'll kick cross field. They're challenging for the ball. It's been knocked forward, and Hanley has to bundle it over the dead ball line. They'll get the goal line dropouts.
Well, it just shows you how quickly the momentum of the game can change. A little bit of possession, a little bit of field position, and some good decisions at the back end of it. There's some confusion between centre and winger, and Leeds Centurions have forced the issue here, and they'll get some repeat possession and another look at the Rhinos line.
Ash Hanley on defensive duties, his 15th start in a row for the Rhinos, and certainly has made an impact in this centre position for the Leeds club.
Well, Leigh are going to get the ball now and a go at the Leeds Rhinos line. They should have plenty of energy. They've been under the post for 6 tries. You're looking at probably 12 minutes of rest time in a game. I can't for a minute imagine that they're fatigued. So there's a very good chance for Leigh to finish this half on a high and give themselves something, and their supporters, both here and at home, something to look forward to in the second half of this Challenge Cup quarter-final. It is a huge prize on offer.
Greg Richards plays the ball. It was Hyam onto Leroyer. Here is Harrison Hansen. Comes back in field with Hall. Leroyer onto the veteran Mickey Hyam, 37 years of age. 4 times a Challenge Cup winner, Mickey Hyam. You can't really want for more experience than that in your side. Here is Kevin Leroyer, looking to straighten things up. That's the 5th tackle. It's with Hutchison again. Hutchison's short ball to Craig Hall, and Leeds hold him out.
Well, still not a bad place to turn the ball over. Certainly using the width of the pitch and the small gains that they've had in the last 6 or 7 minutes. They're going to make sure that they can try and continue this at least up to half-time, because they do look dangerous, and even without Matautia, they are looking to create that overlap.
So, Leigh showing plenty of spirit in the face of adversity.
Go to Drew, you're offside. Get back. Third. Move, Harrison. Wait. Go third. Four. Move. Mickey with me.
Solid defence from the Centurions. After that little bout of pressure, it's important that they get a good defensive set, and that's the reward.
Lily's
Leeds
gone for
kicking on the fourth.
Thought he was looking for a 40-20 there. It's still a good kick, good deep kick. And Crooks just flattens Myler. Myler's down on the ground.
That's another head injury there. The way he hit the ground, like he was almost sat down, and one of his own players collided with him after the first impact.
Well, not known for big carries like this, but
Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
I think the first contact here, look, there's contact there with the shoulder. He's carrying the ball, and we have this discussion all the time. That when the man who's carrying the ball, he can use his shoulder to get rid of a defender, and when Richie Myler goes in, he can't use his shoulder on that man. But it seems one of those unfair rules.
Well, the incident's going to go on report. It's going to get reviewed. Okay. But we're going to tackle one. Back there.
That's presumably the incident on report.
Yeah, but when you go into contact, the way that Richie Myler pulled out of it, he goes down. But he did have his bumpers up. He was trying to get rid of him, and I don't think there'll be anything else from that play.
No penalty awarded. Just the situation put on report. Here you go.
So the question I asked you, should he have got underneath the ball? I agree with your points as well. Gary Connolly, the great Wigan St Helens fullback, he used to say, you get as fast as you can to that ball, have a look what's going on, pick it up, and then do your damage then.
Well, Leigh retained possession. 5 minutes to go until half-time. They trail by 34 points to 12. Only 12 Centurions on the pitch. Their fullback sent off early on in this game. And Hutchison drills that ball downfield. Young Jack Walker, one of the Rhinos' first half try scorers, returns it and then finds Ryan Hall. But it's good, composed defending from the Centurions.
Leeds Centurions wanted that ball to go over the sideline to play the game and slow the game down. Jack Walker not letting them, and then the Rhinos now plays 1, 2 and 3, want to speed it back up.
Is Ward, Craig Hall and Hutchison with the tackle. Josh Walters on the 40-metre line, halfway line, beg your pardon. And Myler. Oh, Walker's burst through again. He's got Myler in support. Crooks ahead of him. Myler takes the pass. Exacts his revenge. Ben Crooks was the last line of defence, and they had the numbers, did Leeds.
Again, another play over on the left edge for Leeds Centurions. They had enough numbers, there were enough bodies to solve it. You can only assume that because of the fatigue, because of the stress they're under, there's a lack of communication. They're all making individual decisions on who to get without letting everybody around them know. The key to a good defence is communication. However, this is first class from Myler initially, and then Jack Walker with a good decision on the back of it. Myler with the first pass, tracking up the middle and getting it just rewards.
Jordan Lilly has added 2 more points. Half-time approaching, and Leeds ahead by 40 points to 12. Surely now on course for the Challenge Cup semi-finals to join the Catalan Dragons there. Centurions, their hopes fading early on since Peter Matautia was sent off for that tackle on Matt Parcell, and we can get news of Matt Parcell now.
Yes, Bill, straight after that incident, really, what happened was the doctor came over to replay it on the monitor to have a look at him, and they've been clearly watching him as he carried on playing, but gave him cause for concern, and took him off into the changing rooms to have that head test. And the bad news for Leeds again is that they'll not have his services in the second half or the rest of this half because he's failed that concussion test.
Go on.
So Leeds getting the points but losing the players, and they've lost enough already in recent weeks, so it's going to be a real headache. Sorry, Matt Parcell.
Well, if Leigh continue to defend like they have done in this first 38 minutes, they can go down to 12, 11 and 10 men, the Leeds Rhinos. They'll still find gaps through it. It just hasn't been good enough from the Centurions, despite the fact they've been a man down. Some of the misses have been abject, really.
Oh, and there could be more points here because Cameron Smith has weaved his way across the field. And Alexki will add to the Rhinos tally. Referees call them back. Forward pass, I think it was. No, beg your pardon, obstruction.
He goes behind his own man.
It's a penalty.
The referee, Chris Kendall, straight away saying, but just have a little look how many Leigh players starting to walk here. You can see when he catches the ball, he goes around. I think is it Richie Myler? Gets over for the try. But called back by that man, Chris Kendall. Well, Leigh Centurions now, they really need to find something from within. Can't feel sorry for yourself. They've got another 40 minutes to go.
Up we get, go
down the hill.
Just get to your feet, please.
The good thing for them, Bill, is that the interchange for Leeds will be affected in the second half.
Hold Anthony. Go two, well done.
Yeah, the Rhinos will be having to nurse their resources. That pass comes off a Leeds body, and Cameron Smith picks it up for Leeds.
And a couple of reactions from the Leigh players. Ben Reynolds threw his hands up saying to Harrison Hansen, you should have caught that. And the same with Harrison Hansen.
Half-time hooter sounds. Brian McDermott strides towards the dressing room. Probably mixed emotions for the Leeds coach. Lead taking an early lead, then having Matautia sent off, and since then Leeds have just been racking up the points, and there's more to come, you feel.
This is a fan. This is a bigger fan. This is the biggest fan of them all, Bossy.
We embrace all fans. Hey Greg, stop. This is unbelievable. Come with me.
For a show by the fan for the fans. Tonight at 7:30 on Fox League.
Arriving in Tokyo, she'd never seen anything like it, and neither had we.
At Expedia, you can choose your flights, hotels, activities and car hire all in one place for a holiday that's just right for you.
We've got everywhere to go.
With everything you need to go, where will you discover next? Expedia.
I promise to love you in sickness and in health. And in good times and in bad. But only for a limited time. Until June 30.
Promises shouldn't be for a limited time. Unlike others, our 7-year warranty comes with every Kia, every time.
First you have to finish.
Negative, Dale. Negative.
No wings on this Red Bull as he buries his ghost in Monaco.
It's redemption day for Daniel Ricciardo.
Every practice, qualifying and race. With all races ad-break free, from lights out to the checkered flag. Formula One, live only on Fox Sports.
A Fox League Origin special.
There's something about this series that is quite exciting.
Ben and Paul cover Game 1 from every angle, followed by a special early edition of The Late Show. Thursday, only on Fox League.
Second half coming up here of this Ladbrokes Challenge Cup quarter-final, and the Leeds Rhinos comfortably ahead, 40 points to 12, 12 being the operative figure for the Leeds Centurions because they only have 12 players on the pitch after Peter Matautia's sending off and just testing the water at half-time. General consensus seems to be that Chris Kendall and his officials got that decision right. There really was no alternative for them. After Matautia's tackle on Matt Parcell, who, as we heard, will play no further part in this game, and neither will Jimmy Kinehorst and somebody else. They'll be dropping like flies.
Kinehorst, Parcell and Ablett.
Get Carl Ablett, that was it. So that's 3 Leeds players out of action.
And when you think about the last time we were here, Missy Talapapa and that missed time tackle, as it was named, against Jamie Shaw, there was an accusation that the referee didn't act strongly enough, so you can't blame Chris Kendall. coming to that decision.
Go for.
It was there. The decision had to be made. That's a good tackle, good defence from Leeds Centurions.
Ball shooting out in the tackle. Was it Greg Richards?
That man makes the mistake. You've got to be strong
Guys, over here, please.
on Mullally. And the little bobble there from Ash Golding, he looks up straight away, gives himself up to the referee.
Who will now act as the replacement hooker. He was always going to fulfil that role at some point, but he's got big minutes.
Out!
So Leeds Centurions gets head and feed at the scrum on the 40-metre line in the Leeds half, and a try or points early on in this second half, or pressure early on in this second half would be a real boost for them.
Stand! Wait!
On the 20-metre line. Richards plays the ball, but the pass from Reynolds goes astray. Play on, says the referee. No, he doesn't. He calls him back.
Knock on.
Reynolds just takes a moment there.
Scrum.
I thought that Leeds Rhinos were going to pick the ball up, and that's why he called the zero play. The mistake there from Harrison Hansen. He was thinking that maybe Josh Walters was going to get the ball.
Couple of minutes then into the second half. Let's get news of the half-time talks from Angela.
Well, Brian McDermott says they've got some work to do in this first half despite that scoreline. One sub-option left and a young depleted squad doing their best, but he expects a big reaction from Leigh. He says it'll be a very, very different second half, and he suspects that Leigh will try to invite the referee into this game. Kieran Purtill says he can't argue really with the sending off in the first half. They've worked hard, but they've let their heads go down in that first half. He wants to see a reaction, not give in. Let's see whether they get that reaction.
It's Leeds in possession at the moment. The ball bobbles backwards and Hanley picks it up. Leroyer gets a hold of him, the French international Kevin Leroyer, combining his career with Leigh as Myler knocks that on, and Leigh will get head and feed. In fact, it'll be the turnover. It was on the last.
Well, aggressive defence from the Leeds side in the opening few minutes. You could see the pressure from, I think it was Bodine Thompson on Richie Myler, working hard from the ruck. Just caught him in two minds. A mistake from Ash Golding earlier on in this second half. And what Brian McDermott was referring to when he was speaking to Angela Powers was about making sure that the aggression's kept nice and tight and making sure that everything that Leeds Centurions do is above the law, because you do think that for Leigh to go on and win this game, they've got to pull Leeds Rhinos into a dogfight.
It's a good run from Greg Richards that has got Leigh rolling forwards here. And the ball on the inside with Kevin Leroyer, just mentioning the fact he's combining playing for Leigh with doing a sports business management degree in Leeds. Got a lot on his plate at the moment. Here's Ben Reynolds. Leeds could have something on their plate here. The ball's batted back inside. And
Jack has gone into touch.
Ben Crooks not able to get on the end of that as Matty Dawson-Jones tried to keep it alive.
It's almost a spectacular try. We've seen Ben Reynolds develop into a fine standoff. He places that ball into the path of the winger, and centre and winger can't combine. It would have been an outstanding try.
For the Leeds Centurions, his second spell with the club.
Surrender! One. Stand! Go on.
Tough time for the Centurions, sixth in the championship table. They lost 28-26 against Toronto last week, a game that people are still talking about for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, plenty to talk about post-match, that's for sure. Sixth in the championship, Bill. Leeds sixth in Super League. And a game like this and a result like this, because they'll go on and win this game, may kickstart or reignite a season that's been faltering of late. It's the highest score they've registered this season so far. They never topped 30 points before today, which was remarkable considering how deep we are into the season. And things have gone their way, certainly with Matautia sending off. I know they've had some injury problems, but a big win here and a move into the Challenge Cup semi-finals might reignite Leeds.
Oh, Craig Hall trying to make the break. Just stopped by Richie Myler. Rhys Evans cutting back infield. Welsh international. Played in the 2016 Challenge Cup final, did Rhys Evans. Here's Kevin Leroyer, another one with experience. Lost at Wembley in 2015 with Hull Kingston Rovers. Here is Ben Reynolds. Reynolds spots a little gap, gets the ball away to Bodine Thompson, but it was forward. But Leigh showing some pluck.
Again, that's one of the signs from Ben Reynolds, I think he's matured into a good player. He goes at the belly of the defence, where all those big fellas are, looks to get the offload away to Bodine Thompson. Referee in a good position. And if it's worked for you, just keep having a go at the same sort of play.
So head and feed to Leeds, deep in their own half. Let's get some injury updates. Hang on a minute. Jack Walker's broken the line, and Stevie Ward, I beg your pardon, Ward with the break. Ward's eventually collared by Dawson Jones, and Jack Walker does really well to get that ball. It was Stevie Ward with the break. Walker came close to knocking it on. Golding, Ash Golding, he's trapped. Drew Hutchison and Harrison Hansen with the tackle. Here's Myler. Myler's short ball. Brett Ferris reversing towards that try line. Boos for Ferris. Back in home country, Brett Ferris. Lives not far away from here. And he plays the ball. Leigh right on their own try line. Lily's pass. Myler. They're in again. It's Cameron Smith who gets the try, or will he? Because the video ref is going to be called in again. Ben Thaler, Chris Kendall,
make sure he keeps onto the ball, please.
Reckons that there's a try, but it's the grounding I think he wants to check.
I don't think there's a problem with this when he goes over. He knows he's going to be put under some pressure from Evans, who's the winger. He still manages to keep hold of that ball. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, Chris Kendall's instincts were right. Cameron Smith did ground that for his first try of the season. And Jordan Lilly bang in front of the posts. On target again. 46 points to 12. The Leeds Rhinos ahead. Let's get that injury update. Angela.
Try and squeeze it in before the next try, Bill. Well, Mark Parcell, as I told you earlier on, that he did fail that head test, but Brian McDermott's not too worried about his recovery for next week. The other two, though, are muscle tears, and he thinks they might be out for a long time, several weeks, in fact. So that's Carl Ablett and Jimmy Kinehorst look like their long-term injuries to add to that long list, and that's seating up there in the stand.
Leeds doing it tough, but at least they have points on the board. That restart hasn't gone 10, and Reynolds shake of the head.
Out the full, wait, Jordan, wait.
We're looking to get the ball back as quick as possible. When this ball comes down, Drew Hutchison catching it. If the ball would have hit the ground, then gone over the 10, it would have been okay. Play on.
Release one.
I just think things are going from bad to worse here. The Centurions.
Yeah, long way to go. Could be more punishment coming the Centurions' way.
Wait, go to.
They won on this ground a couple of weeks ago when they played Featherstone, 42-20, but this not so pleasant an experience. Ryan Hall not yet on the score sheet. That's good defence from the Centurions.
I think it was shot, Bill. I'm sure that the Rhinos players thought that this was going to be a penalty that went in their favour.
Yeah, I thought it was.
When he gets the ball, you can see that Dawson Jones come from an onside position. He was square at the ruck. He puts pressure on Ash Handley. When he picks that ball up, he hits him with absolutely everything. And Ben Reynolds staying out of that play as well.
Jack, head in, please.
Good defence.
It's a bit of defiance and spirit from Leigh Centurions.
From a winger.
You know what is a worrying sign, lads? The Greg Richards has just gone up to the referee saying how long's left. We're only 11 minutes into the second half. You've got 29 minutes to go, lad.
Here's Harrison Hansen. 32 years of age now. And Craig Hall, similarly experienced, came to Leigh from Toronto. Ben Crooks.
That's a few times they've overloaded their left edge as the ball spews out of the tackle. Josh Walters picks it up. The starting hooker this week, Liam Hood, he loves to go on those short sides, lines his players up. They had an overload of attackers, but Leeds were still good enough to deal with it. Good meters forward from Aletsky.
Play from Tom Briscoe then. He's carrying more than anything though.
Tackle two, Ash. Wait.
Referee says
okay, tackle two, go.
To go back to where he was tackled and play that ball again. 2 tackles gone. Here is Brett Ferris.
Held!
He's in good form. Expect him to get on the score sheet. He's scored in the last 2 games. Cuthbertson, here is Handley. 20 metres out. Oledzki, this Gdansk-born front rower. Big, solid lad. Only 19 years of age. It's hard to believe he was quite a diver in terms of swimming pools in his youth. Gave that up for rugby. Bristow is bundled into touch.
Play on. Just before he was put in touch.
Turnover, Jack, leave the ball. Drop it.
Last tackle.
You got that, please?
Rhinos failed to get the kick away. They were right to go and have a look on this short side, although there's more than enough defenders.
I'm looking at the makeup of this Leeds Rhinos side now, and with so many experienced players missing, the youngsters that are out there that's going to be involved in this tough contest, they're going to go through some tough periods in the second half against the formidable Leeds side. They'll gain valuable experience here. The likes of Oledzki, Lilly, Walker, Cameron Smith.
It's Leigh in possession. Drew Hutchison's pass, and
contact without the ball.
The referee says
contact without the ball.
Harrison Hansen was tackled without the ball, and that'll be a penalty to the Centurions.
And Stevie Ward's the man penalised for hitting Harrison.
There's Oledzki. Interesting character, this Polish-born front rower, 19 years of age, and front row experts reckon he's got a big future.
For a long time we've been singing his praises, watching him come through the academy, looking at him as a scholarship player. He was what we call a man-child as a 15 or 16-year-old. Got a lot to learn, but a big future in the game.
He's a gymnast as well, he was, before he discovered rugby league. And he's turning into quite a formidable opponent. But Jordan Baldwinson knows how tough it can be, because there were high hopes for him, and he went off to New Zealand, had a stint with the Warriors. Now it's Leigh, and it's Leigh in possession. That ball, and it's, I think,
offside.
Offside.
There's a knock on, and then his teammate, I think it's Drew Hutchinson, stood in an offside position. Well, you can see coming on a crash ball, Bodine Thompson loses the ball, and Drew Hutchinson's just half a metre in front.
It's not going to go their way tonight, and you feel for the Leigh fans that have made the trip over. They've come in good numbers, and the ones sitting at home watching this, Barry, we spoke beforehand about some of the greats of the game. You mentioned that amongst the hardest men, in your opinion, to have played the game of rugby league was a man that some of these would have cheered for, a great of the league club. A surprising name, surprising position.
When I joined the professional ranks, my first coach, Peter Tunks, asked me who my role model, who my hero was. I said, Kurt Sorensen. He's got to be the toughest in the game. And he said, no, the hardest man in the game, without a doubt, is Des Drummond. Served Leigh well. Another break. Defended well by the Centurions. Served this club well, along with Warrington Wolves. Rock hard to tackle. Had a particular habit of running towards players with his head down. There's that break again. Good defence from the Centurions. Black belt in judo. Did well in Superstars, which was a test of strength and endurance. And just certainly the one that broke the mould. A tough winger, Brian.
Leeds penalised, and Leigh able to release a bit of pressure. 46-12. We've just conceded the one try so far in this second half. Try and a goal. Cameron Smith's try, Jordan Lilly's conversion. So commendable effort from the 12 Centurions. Here's Jamie Acton. In his 5th season with the league club. Reynolds. Drew Hutchison has a British passport, does Hutchison, by virtue of the fact that his dad, Michael, was a Londoner. In fact, Hutchison, there you can see him, his dad played for London Crusaders, late 80s.
And if they can get a platform, Reynolds and Hutchinson have the skills. That was a line break the last time that player was put on. Jamie Acton will come on and stiffen things up now.
Briscoe was stopped. Here is Cuthbertson. And they make sure, well, I thought they made sure he couldn't offload, and then somehow he gets that ball away. Does the man who was Super League's top offloader last year, and you saw why there.
Well, always fighting. And look, they run hard into collision, they look to play off powerful charges. And he's going to ground, and all of a sudden he knows he gets his arm free and someone's there with him.
It's like, you know it's coming, you do know it's coming, but you can't do much about it. And Leigh Centurions trying to control the ruck. At that point, it's Jordan Thompson, stays in too long. He's been playing a number of weeks, Adam Cuthbertson, with that hand injury, and missed, I think, 7-8 weeks initially when he broke it.
Move, Harrison! Hold.
Well, when you're chasing the game, he's the sort of player you really need to restrict. And Cuthbertson just very innate there, just pointing the way.
Plays before the line as well. Got a good pre-line pass as we see now. There you go.
Mullally goes down. Acton prevents him getting up. And Golding almost found a way through. Right under those posts. Cuthbertson, Myler. Walker, little dummy. Oh, that's good defence again. It was Dawson Jones once more who slammed the door when it looked as though Jack Walker was going to get in. Oh, Josh Walters was diving for that. Looks to the referee, claims he was obstructed, and he was.
No. They do everything right in defence, and it's solid defence as well from Dawson Jones.
On the goal line.
And then is it Liam Hood who's the man who's penalised?
Josh Walters, who has a qualification in hairdressing, courtesy of Barber B, who we met at Summer Bash last weekend.
Could have a good go at 2 out of 3 of us, Bill. Unfortunately, can't do nothing for O'Connor.
No.
And he's Dandelion. But a good chase. It's an unexpected kicker in Brett Ferris. Not employed for his kicking ability, but Ben Reynolds doing his best.
Well, the proximity of Ben Reynolds means that penalty try won't be in the equation of the thinking of the referee.
No, and you're leading by 34 points. Go for 2 points here, bit of a strange move. Just let's keep going, boys. Let's build in confidence. We've not scored many points all year. Let's just keep going out there, and when we're in this field position, let's just keep attacking.
You can see the Leigh Centurion supporters in the stand behind those posts as Jordan Lilly tags on 2 more points.
Way back. Go. Adam, you're contributing to that. Held! Ruiz, 2. Wait, go 2. Third. Move! Harrison, with me. Wait, go third.
Would certainly take a monster turnaround to deny Leeds a Challenge Cup semi-final place, and really 6th in the table, their top 4 hopes fading, you'd have to say. The Challenge Cup maybe is the Rhinos' best hopes of silverware this season.
And you ask everybody on the terrace, and that's their thoughts.
I don't agree with that. I know
you think they'll make the top 4? They've done it for the last decade. They've timed it.
4th place.
It's an absolute folly riding off the Leeds Rhinos. We see Jordan Lilly drill it into touch, Terry. I think that kick into touch ties in with that penalty decision that you referred to earlier. They're managing this game out, aren't they? They really are just going to slowly turn the screw. They're not in an effort to rush to pile on points. They believe it will come.
They only have 14 fit players.
That's the only thing that you can be thinking about, isn't it? We're down on numbers. Some of the bigger lads that we don't know about might be tired in the middle of the field. Brian McDermott knows, and certainly far more intelligent than us 3 lads, and he's sending down messages how he wants his team to play.
That could be a big loss. Dean Thompson, speak for yourself. Dean Thompson, been exceptional since he joined the club. Luckily, it looks like he's okay as he goes in to make that tackle.
See, there's a bit of anguish on his face then.
Does he knock his thumb back?
Well, maybe they do need a drop goal, do need a 1-pointer, and he's got his side and his position in place to do it. And I think you're seeing a bit of that from the Leeds Rhinos now. They're imagining a different scenario than actually is on the scoreboard.
Well,
they'll engineer a victory.
Maybe got a plan ahead for the absence of some key players, and some of the youngsters involved tonight might not just be here for the evening. They could have a part to play in the next few weeks.
I think the youngsters have had a huge impact on this game. Jack Walker must be in with a shout for the man of the match, but just went through the team sheet and looked at the players that have gone through the system. A lot of clubs like Wigan and Warrington and St Helens tend to bring a lot of players through. There are 11 system-bred players for the Leeds Rhinos today, including the impressive Jack Walker. So it tests your squad, it tests your depth, and it tests your commitment times like this. That's Hull FC.
Oh, that's good work. Great work from Ben Crooks. And Crooks didn't give up on that kick. And Chris Kendall, what's his instinct?
We've got to try.
He reckons it's a try.
Make sure it doesn't go into.
There were two Leeds players who could have dealt with that kick. They didn't, and Ben Crooks made him pay for it.
Yeah, there's not a problem with this. He's one of those special players, isn't he, Ben Crooks? Bursting onto the scene years ago up at Hull FC. Before he went down under, kicks the ball, chases hard. The ball takes a wicked bounce away from Briscoe. Jack Walker can't bring it in. Look at that. That's excellent play. Knowing where he is on the field, picks it up cleanly, gets to the try line under pressure.
And a worry for Leeds. Jack Walker looked in anguish when he went down. He looks like he's still on the floor as the try is awarded. Hard-working try from Ben Crooks.
Walker looks as though he's going to get back on his feet. Brian McDermott, no, not another one.
Lee Radford was thinking the same thing the last time we were here.
And those Leigh Centurion supporters, other end of the ground, jubilant. And Ben Reynolds from wide out. Can he improve this scoreboard? Just wide of the target. Fair play to the Centurions fans.
Remember Barry saying a couple of weeks ago about what coaches are looking for when you're beaten on the scoreboard and the clock's against you. You don't want to be gifting the opposition that field position, the easy ball, and just rolling over and just letting them tickle your tummy. And Ben Crooks comes up with a try there, creates it out of nothing, but his urgency not to give up on that play. And Kieran Patel knows that maybe it might have been a different story if they had 13 men on. Well, they're up against a Leeds side that, after conceding that first try from Nathan Mason, they've absolutely been on in this game.
Defiance then from the Centurions in this second half. In fact, it's a try apiece. Just a penalty goal from Jordan Lilly, the difference between the two sides in the second half. So that's a good effort from Leigh.
Well, they came out, they looked stronger in defence, they carried the ball harder. Ben Crooks looking to get outside of Tom Briscoe and thinking that Evans has got him for measure for the speed, but still looking to play the game. And I think that's always been, every time we've watched Leigh Centurions over the years, that is in the makeup of the side. They'll attack from anywhere, whether they're 10 metres from the line, whether they're 10 points in front, 10 points behind, they'll have a go anywhere.
Jack Walker seems to be okay, but I think it might have been a painful experience. Angela?
Yeah, I'm trying to find a way of wording this that's very subtle, but yeah, there was a kick in the certain area that caused him a lot of pain, that sent him down to the floor like that. He's come off as a precaution. There's a lot of long-term injury. They don't think so, but yeah, a lot of pain there. So I gather.
Yeah. Got caught in Equatorial Guinea.
Holy moly, my eyes are watering.
Here's Josh Walters. 48 points to 16. Leeds Rhinos lead. They are heading for the Challenge Cup semi-finals. 2 more games to come over the weekend, of course, and the pass is astray. Oh no, poor old Jack Walker's clobbered again.
Well, he pulls out of that because of the speed of Jones Dawson when he comes out the line. You can see that he shoots the line. He's got him in his sights. The ball is a touch slow because of Marley goes at the line so much. He's trying to turn around and catch it, and Dawson Jones, well, if he catches that ball,
maybe you can throw one criticism at Miley. If he straightens up and brings those defenders along with him, it might give Jack Walker a little bit more space. But he's had a wonderful game. Richie Myler been some quality performers for Leeds. We've still got 12 minutes or so left of this game.
Brian McDermott would normally be thinking, well, we'll take Jack Walker off, take him out the firing line. He's, taking a bang or two, and let's put somebody else on. Oh, hang on, we haven't got anybody else to send off.
Just trying to look down at the dugout for the Leeds Rhinos and see who's left fit and ready and available. There isn't many.
Cameron Smith, is it?
That's it. Cameron Smith, get on Cam, you're at fullback.
And centre.
Still one.
Well, Leeds coming forward again with Ash Golding. Tackled underneath those posts. Acton gets a hold of him. Myler has to stretch for that. Myler to Brett Ferris. Ferris across the field. Leigh doing well defensively. Mullally. There's some pride being salvaged in this second half by the Centurions. Whatever else. Myler, the ball bounces away from him into touch, and Leigh survive again.
I agree, Bill. There's some character in this second half. The backs are certainly against the wall. Ben Crooks has gone in. He's had Richie Myler in his sight. He's forced him to play. Oh, there's a mistake just because the effort from Crooks. Say this second half, well, the scoreboard's against them, but that man in particular on that effort there is certainly not going to let Leeds Rhinos have it their way.
Back down.
His dad, of course, played for Leeds Rhinos, Lee Crooks. From just down the road in Castleford, born Ben Crooks. So whenever he meets the blue and amber, there's a little bit more motivation for him in his bones. But the Leeds Centurions can still walk away from this game with a moral victory.
Ball still. Brett, step back, Brett.
And Liam Woods exchange pleasantries.
Just trying to check the substitutions and the interchanges. We think that Brett Ferris has yet to take a rest in this game. Been struggling with his fitness all year. So 80 minutes, if he gets through to the final whistle, under his belt will do Brett Ferris good.
You're absolutely right, Barry. He needs game time. He's a shadow of the player that was so exceptional at Huddersfield, England international. And I don't think the Leeds Rhinos fans have seen the very best of Brett Ferris. 80-minute stints are going to go a long way towards helping him regain some of that form from yesteryear.
That was a fine penalty from Drew Hutchison, meanwhile, which has driven the Centurions deeper into Leeds territory, and then they put the ball down.
Surrender!
Nathan Mason.
Yeah, he just fumbles it. There's a defensive line in front of him, but no excuse not to collect that ball. And Leeds Rhinos get a penalty. Jamie Acton a little bit high for the referee's liking. And the Leeds Centurions will invite the Leeds Rhinos up to their end, up near their line. There you go, Josh Walters just collects one.
Kepser takes a couple actually, and he goes through there. Josh Walters not giving up. Leeds Rhinos having Cuthbertson off the field. If they got the ball here, Leeds not found touch.
Well, that's a bad mistake from Leeds. Rhys Evans batting that ball back into play.
Good awareness. You can throw a few things at the Leeds Centurions, but a lack of effort and a lack of desire. Those two, you certainly can't. They haven't given up. And sometimes when you're in games like this, the collective talk amongst the players is, look, just forget the scoreboard now. Let's get on with the game. Let's do what we're good at. Threaten the try line of the opposition. Forget the scoreboard.
Acton's on the receiving end of a high tackle, and there could be a little bit of spite in the closing minutes here. Tempers fraying, players getting tired and hot and sweaty and just bad-tempered.
Well, Brett Ferris was the man who was caught up about 20 metres away with Liam Hood. He gives the penalty away on Jamie Acton. Hits him around the chin. That is a penalty. And you can see him backing off. He knew really what was coming.
It goes any further. Players keep running in. I'm going to deal. Is that clear? Got the message.
Word with the two captains, Harrison Hansen and Stevie Ward. And it'll be the Centurions' penalty.
Aye.
And let's face it, both of these sides won't want to lose any plays. There's a big run in for Leeds Rhinos in the Challenge Cup. There's a big run in for Leeds Centurions to get into that top 4 position when the qualifying 8s come along.
They might have to do it with Peter Matautier for a couple of games after that tackle on Matt Purcell.
He's looked strong, hasn't he, Nathan Mason, when he's carried the ball.
Seems a distant memory, him scoring that try early on, and you thought, right, hello, we've got a game on here, and have they grounding that ball? Is it Liam Hood?
Yes, I'm giving him this try. That's his trademark, Liam Hood, as the players come together. A bit hot and bothered. Good charge from Nathan Mason. And Nathan Mason commanded some defensive presence. Liam Hood, with like all good hookers, he has that instinct. He spotted the gap, got down low, and I feel certain he's got his try.
Chris Kendall.
It's tackle 1.
Let's see what his instinct is.
Got a try.
Yep. His feeling is that
just check the contact by the person who plays the ball and the grounding, please.
Liam Hood against his former team, the team that he started his professional career against. And Nathan Mason, powerful charge, difficult man to handle. Look at this, good play of the ball. See the movement from the defenders from the Rhinos. He stays nice and low, Liam Hood. Ash Golding's backing off. Brett Ferris comes in, tries to get him down, but that's a good try. Nice and low, powerful charge from the hooker.
Liam Hood has the satisfaction at least of scoring against his former club. Second Challenge Cup try of the season, 12th of the season overall for the Leeds Centurions hooker. And Ben Reynolds takes on 2 more points, and I think Centurions go into the lead in the second half. So that's always something that teams cling on to in a situation like this. At least we won the second half.
Well, the players again coming together, and Brett Ferris, Jamie Acton, both of those players just prowling round the back. But a good try and good reaction from Liam Hood. Good hookers always go off a win at the play of the ball, looking for that fractured defensive line. Where am I going to get? Who's not quite talking? Who's maybe switched off in defence closer to rock?
Internet's going on report, okay?
Right, Chris Kendall's put that on report as well, so that's the second incident in the game that is on report. It's just like the Featherstone Hull game, isn't it? At least one side has... Hang on, they've got 12. There's still time for somebody to finish with 9 like Hull did last time we were here in the Cup.
That plumbed some depth, that game. I don't think this has gone that direction yet, thankfully. We still have rugby being played.
Still 7 minutes or so to go as Ben Crooks looks to break.
Hold. Go on.
And the Centurions fans, they know how well their side's done in this second half, that they actually lead 10-8 to Leigh in the second half. It is. It's a good performance from the 12 Centurions.
It's been committed. The players turning up, they're still getting excited. Drew Hutchinson wants the ball. He's commanding the ball. He's trying to organise something here.
Acton, Ferris wants a bit of that tackle.
Right. Go for.
Here come the Centurions again. Liam Hood.
5. Move, Stevie.
And Leigh finishing strongly. Hood complaining.
Just get up.
Jordan Thompson, Drew Hutchison on quickly. Reynolds, nice hands from Reynolds. Crooks, and the pass doesn't find the target. But this is a good effort from the Leeds Centurions late on in this game.
It looked like it was going to be a replica of those tries that Tom Briscoe scored in that right-hand corner in the first half. Ryan Hall mentioned it in the first half. Very often in Super League and Rugby League in general, players will reach around and pat that ball down, and the two Kierans will be proud of their team's effort in the second half.
I think Billy was shell-shocked in the first half, weren't they, when they lost Matautier, and all the build-up would have been in the week about.
Hang on a minute. Somebody's going to the bin. Jamie Acton's going to the sin bin.
Brett!
And he is mystified by that, but something's gone on as they try to
scrum, I think. Yeah, on the scrum.
Yeah, watch.
The referee wants to speak to Brett Ferris as well.
hang on a minute. Did I say that we haven't had it? We're not going to have somebody finish. We've got 11 men.
There's another one.
So that's
It's a penalty to Leigh.
Brett Ferris and
penalty
Jamie
to Leigh.
Acton. They've been going at each other, and Acton's lurking on the sideline as Brett Ferris comes off. Keep an eye on this.
Let's have a look. The two protagonists are talking, chatting, touching, stroking. Doesn't actually resort to fisticuffs, but there you go. The referee's dealt with it. Hopefully it'll calm it down.
And Leigh, that was forwards. Jordan Thompson took the pass from Hutchinson.
They're still running some committed lines, aren't they? Hutchinson trying to get Adam Cuthbertson interested, but again, the pass is just forward. But then I think he's done a decent job, Chris Kendall.
12v11 it is now. There's something in the air here.
There's a push from Maletsky. He's helping his teammate. The young 19-year-old's not fazed by any old staging, is he? Brett Ferris just winding Jamie Acton up with that scrum.
There's nothing actually happened there, but the referee's taken. Although Jamie Acton's saying he's hit me at the back of the head.
I think
Sure, striking your coach.
Chris Kendall said, look, let's just get these two off the field.
I've had enough of this. I don't want this to boil over.
Sure, striking your coach is going to get you in the team the week after.
He's close to getting back on the field again. He's patrolling the sidelines here.
Oh, Harrison Hansen took a nasty one, then nearly fall over. Need to stop the clock here.
Time off, Harrison.
Harrison Hansen's one of the warriors of the game. One of the toughest lads that I've seen play the game. He's like years ago, before there was all the protocol and with head knocks and all that, he would never want to leave the field. Similar to his dad, Shane Hansen, who played at Salford. Another tough lad, but see when he goes into this tackle here, tries to hit Ryan Hall with everything he's got. Comes off second best. When he gets up, he nearly stumbles over.
Royer comes on as Harrison Hansen comes off for the last few minutes of this game. And Leeds is looking for the final whistle here as that ball comes out in the tackle. Sweaty palms probably, Stevie Ward.
It's much like Hutchinson's fumble, only he's not near the try line. He's not able to get over to score a try, Stevie Ward. He loses control, loses grip.
Yeah, so one in.
Last couple of minutes now, and Brian McDermott's side are through to the next round. They're not safely through. There's been some damage along the way. And as you said, Bill, I think you're right. I think the honours go to the Leeds Centurions in the second half.
But you then point to Leeds and the disruption that they've suffered in key positions.
Yeah.
Josh!
I think a lot of it, like I said, a lot of these young lads have valuable experience here.
Craig Hall has lost that ball. Cameron Smith, Jordan Lilly has picked it up. Ash Hanley will put his foot down. The chasers are after him. Reece Evans among them. Evans gets a hold of him. And look at the numbers coming back from the Centurions' point of view to deny Ash Hanley there. But Leeds haven't finished yet.
Bill, the man who finished that tackle off was a prop forward, Nathan Mason. That shows how much that they've not given it up. Yeah, the score's against them, but still looking to keep that try line intact now. Final few minutes.
Cuthbertson, Cameron Smith, big tackle. Matty Dawson-Jones again. Ash Hanley was on the receiving end. Here's Ash Golding. Golding, weaving run from him. Adam Cuthbertson rounds it off.
We play the ball. I'm happy with that.
Chris Kendall awards the try. And Ben Crooks furious in back play. And what did I say? There's somebody else in the bin that he's sent off. I think it's something said by Matty Dawson-Jones.
Well, that's a shame because he's had a good game. He spotted that play, shut it down, as he has done several times. And whatever was said, and if it was abuse at the coach, we don't tolerate that. At the referee, we don't tolerate that in rugby league. The mistake he's made. Jordan Lilly shows good dexterity to pick the ball up. You think that Ash Hanley, running uphill, has more speed about him. The Leeds Centurions with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players back defensively. Ashton Golding played at 9, finds his front rower,
puts the ball down. Well, I think that here Matty Dawson, he's trying to get round to Ash Golden, and he's asking he's asking the referee and the touchers to go back, saying that he was obstructed. Then it doesn't go back. He's made his decision. He gives the try. Then he says something out of turn here.
I think you don't have to be a particularly adept
absolutely. Well dealt with. Well dealt with, Chris Kendall.
And that's a shame, because he has had a good game and they've showed plenty of spirit in the second half.
Well, for the second cup tie here in succession, it has been a feisty night. This one finishing 12 versus 10. Well, hang on a minute, we've still got a bit of time to go. Still got 30 seconds to go. Could equal the Hull Featherstone game in terms of numbers of players on the field. Adam Cuthbertson, though, smiling as Leeds are, after successfully negotiating a difficult night against Kieran Purtill's Leigh Centurions team. 52-22 the scoreline. It means that Leeds actually have the edge in the second half. 9 tries they've scored in this game to see off the challenge of the championship side, the Leigh Centurions. But Brian McDermott knows that it has been at some cost. 3 players picking up injuries, and 2 of those injuries to Jimmy Kinehorst and Carl Ablett could be long-term ones. So that is the tough cost of this game. A gallant performance from the Centurions, particularly in the second half, when they outscored Leeds for much of it until that late try from Adam Cuthbertson. And of course a high cost in terms of cards as well. 2 players sent off, one at the beginning, Peter Matautia, one at the end, Matty Dawson-Jones, another couple in the sin bin as well in Brett Ferris and Jamie Acton. A lively game for Chris Kendall, and fair play to referee Chris Kendall, because it was a difficult game and he's done well.
I thought he handled the game perfectly. Leigh Centurions, very aggressive, abrasive side. They were always going to come to Featherstone and make it difficult for Leeds Rhinos and try and drag it down into the trenches. But the Rhinos were quick in the first half, made the most of that slope, and there was some good work, some top performers on the Leeds Rhinos side. That little bit of class, that little bit of speed and pace, and ultimately the scoreboard went in their favour.
Sky Sports.